Hello, everyone. It is Thursday, January 86th, 2025. It's January 30th, but it feels like we've been in January for 5 years. Hi, I am Annika Spalding, the Community Relations Director here at the Amarillo Little Theater. And this is Thursdays at 3, where I go live every Thursday to get you caught up on what's happening this week at ALT. This season, Thursdays at 3 is generously sponsored by our friends at Brick and Elm Magazine, Amarillo's premier lifestyle magazine. Their amazing January-February issue is on newsstands now and is packed with fantastic articles written by local contributors that will keep you up to speed on all things Amarillo. You can grab their new issue on newsstands now, or you can head over to their website at brickandelm.com to subscribe. Okay, this is very, very exciting. Get ready to fall in love with First Date, the musical. Tickets are now on sale to the public for this charming and hilarious show at the ALT Adventure Space, opening next week and running February 6th through the 16th. You can get your tickets right now on our website that you can see on your screen, or you can call our box office to get your tickets at 806-355-9991. You guys, you are not going to want to miss this fantastic show. And I have a very special guest with me here today. Managing and Artistic Director Jason Crespin is here to chat with me and all of you about all things First Date the musical and about all of our add-on packages and events surrounding this fantastic show. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the broadcast, but you can learn about our table and Valentine add-ons, or even join us Saturday, February 15th for an evening of speed dating. I'm going to put a little bit of information up on your screen right now if you want to screenshot anything you want to save in your phone so you can start making plans for February, because February is going to be all about first date. We're even going to have a Cupid package. Our amazing marketing director, Raquel, took this beautiful photo earlier today, all about advertising our Cupid package. So exciting. And she may have saved me a chocolate covered strawberry because she's the best. I'm so grateful for her. Any gluten-free dessert that I can get, I've got my hands all over it. Go ahead and take a screenshot of our First Date add-on packages. This is all the information you need for our First Date add-on packages. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the Valentine's Day special is sold out. I think that is, Jason, is that right? Is the Valentine's special sold out? Jason doesn't know. I think it is, but you can always call and ask just to double check. But these are all of our First Date add-on packages. Here is all the information you need to know about the speed dating event. You guys, this is very, very exciting. Speed dating event. We have enough space for 20 men and 20 women. Who knows? You could find love or find a great friend. I don't know. Whatever you're there for, maybe. And then you can see the show afterwards. And the show First Date is all about a first date, but I just want to talk about it later with Jason because I don't want to ruin anything. I'm afraid I'll give something away that I don't want to give away. But we've got these great events around this show that we're so excited about. And, you know, I know a thing or two about falling in love at ALT. So if you have any questions, you can talk to me about that. But I'm just saying, stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened. Another way that you can get tickets for First Date. Oh, before I go on, did you know that on February 6th, Thursday, February 6th, you can bring a friend or a date if you want and enjoy 2-for-1 ticket pricing? Thursday, February 6th is our preview performance. That's technically the final dress rehearsal, but you can get buy one, get one tickets. All of our preview nights are buy one, get one, if you didn't know. And guess what? If you're a student, you get buy one, get one tickets to any performance you want if you're a student. So we're trying to make it easier for you guys to get access to the amazing theater we have at ALT any which way we can. And another way that you can do that is, well, we also offer senior and group rates. I almost forgot to say that. We have senior rates and group rates if you're interested in bringing a group. I believe we deem a group to be like 20 or more. If you want to bring a big group to see a show and you have at least 20 people, we'll give you a sweet discount. And bringing a big group to the theater is a really fun time because theater people know how to have a great time. Anyone who was at the New Year's party will tell you that, okay? It was a fantastic time. We are no stranger to partying, okay? And we know how to do it right. So another way that you can get tickets to see First Date and not have to pay a dang thing is by taking advantage of our Checkout ALT library program. I am obsessed with this program. We've been doing this since the fall of 2023. We've partnered with Pantex, Amarillo Public Library, Canyon Area Library, and Carson County Library to give library card holders access to exciting live theater. Through our Checkout ALT program, you can check out tickets to see ALT shows just like you would check out a book, totally for free. Tickets for First Date are currently available for checkout, and a limited number of seats are available for the performances on February 6th. That's next Thursday, and Sunday, February 9th. You can read about our ticket policies for this program on our social media pages, as well as on our website at AmarilloLittleTheater.org. We also have a talkback event immediately following the show on February 9th, where you can grab a cup of Palace coffee and chat with our director and cast and get all the behind the scenes info about First Date the Musical. Of course, this event is totally free thanks to our generous sponsors, Roxanne and Kevin Ball. If you have not been to a talkback event at ALT, we're asking for like 45 minutes of your time. You get to ask questions, anything you saw during the show that you're like, I wonder how they did that, or I wonder why they made that decision, or I want to know more about this actor, or I want to know how they picked the costumes, or, anything that you want to ask. That's your chance to do it. And you can sit with a bunch of people who also love theater and get some behind the scenes info about a show. So if you've never been to a talkback event, it's chill, it's laid back. You don't have to dress up. You don't have to come as you are, grab a cup of coffee and come hang out with us. It's a really, really great time. And just so you guys know, all concession slots have been filled for First Date, which we are so grateful for. We're not even into production week for First Date, and all of those slots are already filled. So I know, without talking to Lissa, I can tell you she wants to give you a big hug. Thank you so much, volunteers. This is from Lissa. Thank you so much for filling those slots. It makes our lives so much easier on this. And I say it makes Lissa's life so much easier. But if you'd like to help usher, and I hope that you do, we would really, really appreciate it. Guys, this show has no intermission. So all ushering will take place in the 40 minutes before the show begins. So this is one of the easier ushering options for you. If you want to help us usher, we just need you for 40 minutes before the show starts. Thank you so much to everyone who's already signed up. We're so grateful for our volunteers. When you jump in like this, I can't tell you the stress relief that we feel on our end, because it's very panicky when you get right up to show day and you're like, we do not have enough people to cover it. And, it's just stressful. And then it puts extra stress on the volunteers who have signed up. Anyway, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for jumping in like you do. We're so grateful for you. If you are interested in signing up to be an usher for the 40 minutes leading up to First Date, you can do that by emailing our volunteer coordinator, Lissa Guerin, at the email address you see on your screen, or by calling her at our box office at 355-9991. Also, there will be no work call for First Date this weekend. Thank you so much to everyone who helped with our last 2 work calls and helped our team get so far ahead to the point where we don't have to have a work call this weekend. That is always so exciting for us. We all work so hard here, and I know you guys work so hard too, showing up to work calls, giving up parts of your Saturday, helping us out with that. So because you guys did that and we had all that help, now right before production week, we're kind of able to take a bit of a breath. Gabe Sherman says, I watched last night and wow, so good. Gabe, thank you so, so much. Thank you for watching Thursdays at 3. Thank you for your comment. The buzz about this show is really, really great. And I am so excited. I was telling Jason just a little bit ago, I am so excited to chat with him about this show, because Jason and I are always like kind of doing our own thing. And I never have a chance to talk to him about the shows that he's working on, because he's always doing something. And so am I. So I'm actually so grateful that I get to kind of steal him away for this. Okay. This is also just information that I would like to get out there, because it's something we were working on this week. But did you know that you can set up a scholarship in honor of a loved one at ALT? If you have a loved one and you want to set up a scholarship at ALT in their name, you can do that. You can do that. And we would absolutely love that. A longtime ALT supporter recently passed, and she and her husband set up the Dick and Joe Jackson Academy Scholarship for kids to be able to take academy classes who otherwise might not be able to. Absolutely incredible gesture on their part. We're so grateful. And I have a picture. Ann Langford sent this in. So Joe Jackson is pictured here on the bottom row holding the blue cane. That's her. She is the one who passed, and she and her husband created this scholarship, this Academy scholarship. You can see Sean Walsh in the top row with his red tie, and Anne Langford right next to him, right there on the end with the orange striped tie. Such a great picture. So if setting up a scholarship in honor of a loved one is something you would like to consider, please contact our box office at 806-355-9991. And we would be happy to set that up for you or maybe you're in doing some estate planning and you want to set that up. We would absolutely love to work with you on that. It's such a great way to honor someone's legacy, especially if they're an ALT supporter or a theater lover. We would love that, especially for the Academy, making sure that all kids who want to take Academy classes are able to do that. We would just really, really love that. And while we're kind of in our feels, why don't we just keep it going with our volunteer of the week? It was a dance party back here. I'm just saying, I don't want to like give anything away, but okay. Congratulations to Cameron Kelly. Now this one is really, really interesting this week. I'm very excited about this volunteer of the week because this was our very first volunteer of the week nominated by another volunteer. Love this. Okay, so this is going to be a new thing that we're going to do, hopefully, if you guys want to participate in it. Cameron was nominated by Jonathan Mobley, who reached out to me earlier this week to tell me how impressed he was that Cameron stepped in to help with concessions last week because his wife, Stephanie, was sick and couldn't make it. So rather than leave us to find a replacement last minute, Cameron himself came up here to help, even though he had never done it before, and did an amazing job. I just think that is so incredible. What a guy. Thank you so much to Cameron for this and for all you do for ALT. I know you and Stephanie are such amazing volunteers and always willing to help and jump in where you're needed. We're so grateful for volunteers like you. And if you'd like to nominate a fellow volunteer for Volunteer of the Week, I would absolutely love it. Please do that because you guys see things that I don't always see. You're involved in things I'm not always involved in. So if you want to nominate someone for Volunteer of the Week, email me at the email address you see on your screen, Annika@AmarilloLittleTheater.org, and I will toss your hat in the ring for whoever you're wanting to nominate. Depending on how many nominations I get, it may or may not go through, but we may just have to delay it to another week. But Jonathan, thank you so much for nominating Cameron. And I love this idea, just spreading the love between volunteers. So yeah, again, if you want to nominate a Volunteer of the Week, go ahead and email me at the email address that I had up on the screen, Annika@AmarilloLittleTheater.org. We would absolutely love it. Gabe says, yay, Cameron. Jonathan Mobley says, congratulations, Cameron. Thanks for your help. Jonathan, thank you so much for emailing me and getting that ball rolling. That's so great. And Megan Gaitan says, go Cameron. They're literally the sweetest people. Totally agree. And so grateful for the Kellys and all you do for ALT. Okay. Also, I want to let you guys know that voting is now closed for our play and musical selection for our 98th season. We are currently tallying all the votes that came in, and there were a lot. You guys were participating with a capital P in voting for our 98th season. We're so grateful for all the interest. And it is always so interesting to me to see what you guys love. Very, very interesting. I have tallied all of the paper ballots. So now we're going to combine those with the online ballots and we'll see what you guys liked the best. So thank you so much to everyone who voted. And I need to get a massage now because I've been hunched over trying to tally but hey, Jason, would ALT pay for that? Just kidding. Let's keep it going with some breaking Broadway news. All right, Hadestown, UK will be filmed featuring the show's original Broadway stars in the cast over in the West End. So exciting. And Ariana DeBose is no longer in talks to lead Jamie Lloyd's upcoming production of Evita this summer due to scheduling conflicts. The Oscar winner had previously stated that she was hoping to return to the stage in the upcoming revival of the classic Andrew Lloyd Webber musical, but can't because of scheduling. So sad for her. Dolly Parton has announced that Dolly, an original musical, will play a pre-Broadway engagement in Nashville. That seems totally appropriate for Dolly Parton to do a little pre-gaming performance in Nashville, Tennessee, of course. I'm assuming that's where she grew up, so that makes perfect sense to me. Okay, let's get on with it. Let's get on to the fun part. I want to chat with director of First Date the Musical and our very favorite managing and artistic director, Jason. Hi, Jason.
Hello.
How
Let
are
me
you
put my
doing?
sewing down that I've been doing backstage.
Yes, Jason was telling me right before, and he was like, while you're talking, I'm going to be doing this. And what have you been doing behind the scenes?
I've been sewing some elastic onto a yarmulke.
I was going
Why,
to say,
you might
as you
ask?
do, it is a Thursday
Right.
afternoon.
I mean,
You never know if
mazel
it's here.
tov. Mazel tov. Yeah,
Oh
you'll
my
have to come
gosh.
see why when you come see First Date the Musical.
Y'all need to get ready for a ton of first date plugs in this episode of Thursdays at 3, because that is why we're here. We are here to shamelessly plug First Date the
That's right.
Musical.
That's how we do this.
So excited about it. Jason, before we dive into talking about the show, I want to get more details on the table seating and add-ons for First Date, because this is a little bit of an out-of-the-box thing from what we normally do. So we really want to educate people on what we're doing, why we're doing it, why it's so cool. Can you give us the deets on the table seating first?
Yeah. So when people come to see the show, traditionally our floor, our stage, if you will, goes fully into the audience with our thrust kind of floor. For this show, it's a little bit different. We're doing something kind of a little bit different with our setup for the stage, and so we are a lot more upstage, if you will, than normal. And so I didn't need this huge floor basically to go out into the audience. We still have a little bit, but not as much as normal. So that leaves a lot of space between the front row and the front, basically acting area that we would be using. And this isn't a spoiler, but most of the show takes place in a New York City restaurant. And so I thought, wouldn't it be cool to have some tables, similar how Alan in Cabaret had tables kind of for the cabaret.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be great to have these tables that people could sit at that are not a part of the show, but have maybe the same motif of the show, and could have, some charcuterie or some drinks or things like that. And so for every single performance from the 6th through the 16th, we have 4 tables, VIP tables, if you will, that people can purchase. And they basically, there's two to a table. And at the tables, they'll have charcuterie and drink tokens to be used at our bar, of course, before the show. And so I'm excited about that, just because it gives a kind of a different experience to come see the show. You were right. I found out, I went and asked the box office. Valentine's Day, those 4 packages are gone. We still have the Cupid special. So the Cupid special for Valentine's, anybody who has tickets to the Valentine's show can do this. They just add on the Cupid special, and basically they get, when they come to the theater, there'll be a table that has their name and all that information. And so they'll get 2 chocolate covered strawberries, a small bottle of Prosecco, and a long stemmed red rose. So an additional $30, you get that package. Of course, in addition to your tickets that you get. We do need to have that reserved by the 11th, because we have to put in the order for those amazing chocolate covered strawberries from the Ruffle Cup. They're huge. They're amazing. They're fantastic.
I actually have an example for you right here.
There you go. Okay. Wait, I cannot see. I cannot see.
Oh, you can't. Sorry. Can I do it up here?
Yeah.
It's mirrored. Wait. Hang on. Let me just take this down for a second. Like, I just want to give you this. Like,
oh my God, that's a head of a small child. Is that a newborn? Or is it just a chocolate covered strawberry?
Right. I'm like, I've seen this movie before. Look how big. It's as big as my palm.
Huge.
I can't hold it anymore, because otherwise I'm going to eat it on camera, and nobody needs that.
Yeah.
Nobody needs that. Okay. Anyway, keep talking about our Cupid add-on.
So the Cupid add-on, super, super fun. Just a great little thing to add on to. You might already be doing dinner. You might already be doing, drinks or something before the show. But have a little fun surprise when you get to the show for your date and be like, I got dessert covered, or I got this red rose for you.
That's a pretty romantic little extra gesture.
Right? Someone's like, oh, we're going to the show. And then you get to the show and you're like, just kidding. Here's your strawberry. Here's your Prosecco. Here's your red rose.
I mean, that's so nice.
You might give them something for the show. They might give something after the show. We don't have any of those add-on packages. Well, that's on you. That's on you. Whatever
that's
you want to do.
Highly illegal. We're not going to do that.
whatever you want to do. That's on you.
ALT does OnlyFans.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're not going to measure anything in our hands for that. No.
No.
And then on top of that, of course, we thought, well, that's great for anyone who has a Valentine. Woohoo! But those of us who may not have a
Yay.
Valentine, we thought, let's do something fun for them. And so we're having that speed dating event on the 15th. 20 men, 20 women. Hopefully, we'll all sign up. Everyone will get to the theater about 6:30. 6:45, we'll start the event. Basically, we're going to have 20 spots where the women will be sitting at. And then the 20 men will sit down with them, and we will begin 5-minute dates. So we'll have 25-minute dates basically for that hour. Every 5 minutes, the men will rotate and have just really quick, fun experiences, getting to know people in the area. Then afterwards, and we'll have a drink token for them that they can use to get some wine or a specialty cocktail. And then we will have 40 reserved seats that all 40 of them will get to come sit and watch the show together. So basically, all 40 people are going to go on a first date together. And we're not saying like, yes, you might find your true love, which would be phenomenal, but also find other people who want to come see theater shows, like who love theater and who want to experience, a fun night out. It's something different that people don't get to do in Amarillo. So it's going to be a really, really fun event.
Well, and it's so cool just because if you're someone who enjoys theater, and like I was just working on the speed dating like scorecards that you're going to have, that people will have when they're, and there's an option like romance, friendship. Like if you're just looking to find more of a community and the other person says like, hey, I would like to hang out with you as a friend too. Like, great. Like this is so low pressure. This is not like,
it's a mixer.
But on the other hand, I'm a little biased, like I was saying earlier, because I met my husband when I auditioned for Les Mis in July of 2012. We got engaged in January, and we've been married for 11 years and have 2 kids. So it could go either way. You never know.
Yeah. I jokingly wanted to tell people, like, if for some reason you do find your love and you for some reason do get married and have kids, those kids will have free classes in the ALT Academy because you went to the speed dating event. But then I was like, no, I can't do that. That might bankrupt.
What if all 20 of them found love with each other? We would be like, someone set up a scholarship in a loved one's name. Hurry.
I mean, I'm telling you, there would be like this whole class of like, what are we, like 20?
We're making $0 on it.
Yeah, 2045 ALT bankrupt because all those kids are graduating and there's free classes.
Oh my gosh, all those legacy students whose parents found love at the speed dating event. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So you won't get free academy classes for your kids, but you may find a new friend. You may find someone to go see shows at ALT with. Yeah. Maybe that's all you're looking for is like, like I'm not really looking to date, but I really would like someone who enjoys theater or whatever to go have some fun with.
Exactly. And all ages. If you think I'm in my 40s, I shouldn't do this. No, people are signing up in their 40s. People are signing up in their 20s. It's 18 and up really. So, we're not going to discriminate like saying, oh, you must be this age to be dateable. No.
Right. And while you're moving through, it's just 5 minutes. So like if you're a 40-something-year-old and you get sat with a 21-year-old and you're like, and the 21-year-old is like, no, then you're like, just have a fun 5-minute conversation.
Sounds like my last dating experience. So for me, it sounds great.
We're getting real candid on Thursdays at 3 today, guys. Okay.
Yeah. Listen.
Oh my gosh. I
tell the truth.
You do. You never hold back, and that's what I love about you. Okay, so we've got the Valentine thing is sold out. We've got our Cupid add-on packages. Think about that. It's such a sweet little extra. Can you imagine like your date sits down and you're like, actually, come on. It's just going to add to the whole experience. And we want to reiterate again, this show is 80 minutes.
So it is a little bit longer than that. So we timed it last night. Last night was our first time to do a full run, and it's going to hit between an hour and a half and hour 45.
Oh, okay.
It hit 1:45 last night, an hour and 45 minutes, but they'll stop it and going a little bit here and there, and we'll pick up the tempos here in a little bit. Yeah. So, but it's going to be great. It's going to be really, really fun.
So exciting.
Yeah, no intermission.
No intermission. So it's going to be it's going to clip right along. And from what I understand about this show, you're going to look up and be like, you cannot be serious. This is over. That went by so fast.
Yeah. We had our crew watch last night, and it was really fun we actually sat them at the tables where like our VIP tables
Oh,
would be.
fun.
And so that was really fun just to have an audience, just to hear
Yeah.
what we've been working on for the past couple of weeks. And it's like, hopefully this is funny. Okay, they're
Yeah.
laughing. Okay, good.
Love that. Love that. Okay, I'm very excited to talk about this show. I'm personally excited for it, number 1, because the music is so fun,
Yeah,
but also because you were not originally supposed to direct this show, and we're really
it's
hoping
not.
for this is I'm very excited to make this point, okay? Because you were really hoping for a break in your schedule, a much deserved, well-deserved break in your schedule. It didn't work out that way. You took one for the team, went ahead and stuck on to direct it. So I know the show must be amazing because at first Jason was like, okay, got a lot on my plate. I got to direct this show. Okay. But ever since rehearsal started, you guys, this man has been nothing but effusive and happy about it every day at work. Anything he's asked about it, he's like, "Oh my gosh, first day. How are rehearsals? Oh, fantastic." I laughed my head off. Oh my god. Every single time.
Yeah, no, it has actually been really fun. I was last year, after last year, I was like, okay, maybe I'll just direct three. So kind of lined it out.
Mhm.
One of our directors couldn't do it after all. And so musicals are harder because they're just so much more involved there's just so many more moving pieces.
Yeah.
Usually, I mean, there's some plays that of course have a ton of moving pieces. And so then I was like, I'll just direct it. It'll be fine. I can direct it. No worries.
Yeah.
And I am really glad I am directing it now because I've had a blast with it. Because the show is only 17 scenes,
Mhm.
which or actually technically it's only 3 scenes. There's a scene at the streets of New York, then a scene in the restaurant, and then a scene back outside of New York.
Okay.
I usually take the script and divide it up into where I can rehearse it easier. So I've divided it up in amongst 17 scenes, which is funny because there's actually 17 songs in the show. And so every scene just happened to like coincide with a song, which never happened. So like scene 16 has song number 16, like the check. Like it's been so easy for us to be like, wait, what scene are we on? What song are we on?
Oh,
Kind of a
that is
thing.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have 8 cast members. And so I'm able to just text everyone like, hey, don't forget headshots tonight. Or, I mean, it's just the communication with our cast has been phenomenal.
Mhm.
Not only am I directing it, I am choreographing it, which is just easy for me to do with a small show like this. There's not huge dance numbers or anything like that, but there's some movement in the show. So it's just easier for me to get what I want and not have to like communicate my idea to somebody else.
Hey
Just
guys,
with
look
this
at
type of
me.
show.
I'm director and choreographer, and I wear all the hats. Who
Well,
thought?
you know what's funny? Talking about one more hat with this show, I also thought it's 8 people, it's modern day. I'm just gonna costume it myself as well because, I knew exactly what I wanted. And
I
so
don't think I
shout out
realized
to
this.
yeah. So shout out to, Dillard's because like, for example, Joseph needs a great suit. Where do I go get my great suits at? Dillard's, the Murano collection, please.
You heard it here
So
first. If you didn't know where Jason gets all his amazing suits, now you do.
yeah, yep.
We're
And
shamelessly
so
plugging everyone
yeah, right,
today.
yeah. I love it. The Murano collection at Dillard's. Let's just say
It
it's one.
is.
This sweater right here is a Murano. Anyway,
Mhm.
and so I went with him. I went with Callie to Dillard's and got her dress. Caitlin was there, so we got her outfit there as well. This
Also,
great
how
jacket.
fun for the actors.
Oh, we've had so much fun
Oh,
together.
let me
Yeah,
just go on a
yeah,
quick shopping excursion with Jason Crespin. Yeah, that's not
right.
gonna be a great time.
There's a couple of my own pieces that are on a couple of the characters as
See if you can
well.
spot them, guys.
Yeah, there you go, yeah. But there's, some coats here and there and things like that, and then we have some specialty costumes that are super fun, without giving too much away, but well, let me back up first. So,
Okay.
the show is about Casey and Aaron, played by Joseph Ward and Cheyenne Peterson, or McDaniel. Sorry, new last name. She got married. But the show basically is about them meeting in New York City for a date at this bar, and they're going on a blind date. Cheyenne's character has been on several blind dates before. She's kind of an expert. Joseph's character, Aaron, is brand new to the scene, has never really done the blind dating thing. And so they meet at this New York bar or restaurant, and they kind of sit at the little lounge area. And as they begin talking to each other, you find out how they both sing about their first impression of each other and kind of what to expect. then as the date continues, all of a sudden there's like these freeze moments. I always think of Zach Morris in Saved by the Bell when he's like,
Time
"I'm
out.
out." Yep. And they freeze, and all of a sudden like characters come to life that they think about from the restaurant. So the waiter, the waitress, or the other kind of restaurant people become Grandma Ida, the Jewish overbearing grandmother, the Lauren, the sister of Casey. Gabe is the best friend to Aaron. So all these people kind of come to life and tell either more insight on the date or sing
Mhm.
songs about the situation. And it is absolutely hilarious. Our ensemble, they play so many different characters. And the hard thing is, a lot of them don't go off stage and come back on as these characters. So we've been very creative of where we're hiding hats or where we're hiding wigs or where we're
Oh,
hiding
nice.
props that they need. That way they can put them on and immediately stand up and become a character.
Yeah.
So that's been really fun. We've been really like figuring out like all of those things. They also have to like everyone has to drink beverages on stage or eat food on stage. So we're introducing that this week. So that's been really fun as well. Last night, for example, Joseph has to drink a beer, and at this certain time of the show, he has to be done with the beer and order a second one. Well, it was the first night that we had the beer,
Oh, yeah.
and so he got to that point, and he was like just like chugging, which was a huge laugh. It was
Oh
such a
my
privileged
gosh.
event, and so yeah, and so the show basically has all. I mean, we're now a culture of swiping left or right for dates and going on online dating and all this stuff, and so it kind of has the ups and downs of being on a first date, like those awkward pause moments,
Yeah.
or when you find something out and you're like, oh, is that a red flag or is it something that I can like go past?
Yeah.
Um, does somebody get put in the friend zone? Does somebody get put in the skank zone? Like different things like that. It's this
Not the
musical
skank zone.
skank zone. Wow. It's one of those things where this show, if you've been on a first date, you'll get it. If you're single, you're gonna love it. If you're married, you're gonna love it. You're gonna be like, yes, I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore. Or I
Oh, the
remember when
days
we
of yore.
had to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Or if
Yeah.
you're single, you're like, exactly, that happened to me Friday. Who knows? You might be on a date watching the show going, "Oh, that's the person that I'm
Yeah.
sitting right next to." Um, you never know, but it's done in all in humor. It is 18 and up because there is some language.
Mhm.
There's no nudity. There's no any sort of graphic anything. There's suggestions to a couple of things. Um, there's of course some language. There's some characters that are really funny that say some things. So we just say 18 and up just because we
Yeah.
want to make sure people are aware of that. But it shouldn't discourage people. I mean, literally, there's nothing crazy about this show by any means. Um, it's just a really good night at the theater. Yeah.
So exciting. Matt Morgan says Jason's hair looks on point today.
Why, thank you, Matt Morgan. I will let my hairstylist or my person who cuts my hair know. I appreciate that so much.
And Meredith Vasquez says, I can't wait to see it. And she also says,
Oh,
I knew I should have auditioned #shopping spree.
listen, if you
You know,
want, Meredith, you don't need to be in a show to go shopping with me.
I
Just
mean,
just
just
send me a
he's a
text. We'll go
text
shopping
away.
anytime. Yeah,
That's
we'll go
right.
shopping anytime. It'll be a fun
That's
time.
right. Franklin Salazar says, I will find them. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, I once was at Dillard's and Frank was there, and did I help him buy 2 coats? Yes, I did.
You're the perfect person for that. You really, really are.
It was a good time. It was a good time.
Okay, Jason, can you talk a little bit about your collaboration with our technical director, Noah Lang, and his team to make the set
Yeah.
what you wanted? Because I
Uh,
don't know how much you're wanting to
yeah,
say
yeah, yeah.
about it before people walk in the theater, but lots has
Yeah,
happened.
I'm really excited. So we it's a unique situation because there's 3 scenes. There's 3 settings or 2 settings that we go to twice. Uh, New York, the streets of New York, inside this restaurant, back to the streets of New York. And so I was like, I really want to figure out a way where we don't see the restaurant right away. And so talking through Noah and figuring out this idea, kind of we've done something in the past. I did a show called Mr. Popper's Penguins that we used a kind of a curtain at the adventure space. And so kind of using that idea, we came up with this other idea of what we could do. It hasn't been fully done yet. They're in fact working on that a little bit today and tomorrow. And our tech team will be working on that on Saturday, just getting it up and painted and stuff. But uh, because of this idea is why we've been able to kind of keep everything a little bit more upstage.
Mhm.
The other cool thing is we have the band, our orchestra, our first date band. You'll see some of them on stage. We're kind of incorporating Jennifer Akins, of course, our music director. Um, she's kind of like the piano player of the restaurant, if you
That's what I
will.
was gonna ask. I love that.
Yeah. And so there's like a little area where you like, so you'll see Jennifer the whole show. There's one character that especially engages with her to sing a song. And so we've kind of played with that a little bit as well of like how we can incorporate the band. I will say this. I am so blessed that that we have Noah and Brandon and Michael on our tech team because I don't want to say I push what we can do, but I really think we can get this done. Noah, especially, for example, there's the center section of the restaurant that I just was like thinking the whole walls were going to be just brick walls and call it done. And he was like, well, him and Brandon and Michael were talking like, what if we make our own bricks because it's going to look better and we can get them painted the color you wanted. I was like, that's going to take a little more time, but sounds great. So we did that. Amazing volunteers helped with that. But Noah's project was this like center section. And poor thing, because like 2 days ago, he was struggling with it with lighting and blah, blah, blah. And I just was like, just want to remind you that you were the one that wanted to do this. Like, this was not
This is
mandatory.
your gentle reminder that I did not force you to
I
do this.
exactly. I did not force
While
this
I
to happen.
appreciate your ambition,
Yeah. But then it's now that it's done, I'm so glad that he pushed the limit on that as well because it looks
oh,
so good. Which then this is what I love. So it's that inspired then I needed a spot on stage where, for example, they might be able to take off glasses or a costume piece, and we had to ditch them on stage basically. But we needed something, so we created these like they almost look like planter boxes that plants would be out, but they're decorative and so they get to kind of ditch things in those. But because
yeah,
of the motif and the style of the center section, Michael and Brandon and Noah, but I think more so Michael, built these planters that are in the same style. Now they look phenomenal. So now this like thing that we didn't really thought we weren't going to use that then we were like, oh, out of necessity, we need something. Now it's
yeah.
like stylistic and looks like, uh, just looks so awesome, like, it just the design
Wow.
element of it all that I absolutely love, which then made me go, "Well, now we need 2 end tables for this other section." So here I go back to Home Goods and buy more tables,
Yeah.
just to elevate the set, and so now it looks phenomenal, like, it looks like a New York restaurant, and for example, this railing they were like, "Let's just put this railing," and I was like, "I really want something more decorative," and I showed Brandon a picture, and he made this decorative railing that looks
Mhm.
so much better than just a typical railing, and so
Right.
I'm excited for audiences to see that. The color scheme I'm really proud of. We've had a lot of fun with that and kind of incorporating some of the colors into our costumes as well, and so it's been nice because I think because I'm directing, choreographing, and doing the costumes, I all know all of that, and so it's easy for me to talk to Brandon and Noah and Michael to make
Right.
sure all of that is the same,
Sure.
and it kind of all is in the same color scheme and design, if you will. Because I'm like, nope, we can't do that because it's too X, Y, and Z, or
Yeah.
I can't do this costume because it's too much this, and
Right.
so it's going to be, I think, a little bit more cohesive of a show,
Totally. Well, and
which
I
needs to
love
be.
talking about this because to me, what we're talking about right now is why we have the adventure space. Like
Yeah,
the adventure space, like a lot of people, I feel like they hear the adventure space and they think, oh, that's for like the crazy, outlandish, shocking
right.
musicals or shows or plays with language or difficult themes or whatever. Actually, and correct me if I'm wrong here,
Yeah,
but I feel like the adventure space, it's experimental black box theater in the sense that like you can make use of the space however you want to. Whereas like with the main stage, it's a
right.
proscenium style theater. It is what it is. We can do innovative sets and things like that, but it's not like the black box where you could do an audience in the round. You could do
Right.
like a proscenium style seating, or you can do like what you're talking about with the panels and adding all these different elements that you just can't do and in a more intimate space. Whereas at the here at the main stage, you know, there's 450 people sitting in here and you can only do so much
For
technically.
sure. Yeah.
I love hearing about
Well,
anytime we use the adventure space like that.
and it's also what I want our audiences to really remember is we're choosing the spaces for the audience for the size of the audience that the show calls for.
Mhm,
We, in fact, our tech team really would have loved Dial M for Murder to be at the adventure space,
mhm.
like that intimate, cool feeling of the murder happening, all that stuff. But we knew it was going to sell more than 160 seats a night.
Right.
And so it needed to be at the main stage in order for us to sell the show at what it would be, because we still need to make budget on these shows.
Right.
Whereas then like a show like First Date is not well known. It's not a
Mhm.
show that's on Netflix or a movie or anything like that where people, it's not based off a book. And so it's perfect for the adventure space because it's going to have that intimate feeling, and our size of our audience will fit that show way easier over at the adventure space than trying to fill 453 people to come see
Exactly.
a show that they don't know much about, especially with a musical. And so I hope our audience is just like Sense and Sensibility. Perfect show. It could have been on the main stage for sure,
Yep.
but it was a perfect show for the adventure space last season for the size of the audience. And so I
Exactly.
really want people, we're pushing that kind of message out there of shows are really for the size of the audience, not necessarily the content. A lot of people had some issues with Waitress because they thought, how could this show be on the main stage? Well, because we needed the audience. It was selling, over 250 seats a night, so we can't do that at the adventure space.
Exactly.
And so hopefully audience members will start learning and rethinking when it comes to main stage. It's not about content.
Right.
It's more about size of our audience.
Right. There are lots of factors that go into essentially what Jason is saying. We want your experience as an audience member to be the best, where maybe an intimate space is more suited for the show. It's not just about the content. And just if, we try to do this rating system and all of these things to give you guys an idea of what kind of content you can expect in a show. But we've also been talking too about maybe there's too much warning sometimes, because then maybe you get spooked about what it is when really
Yeah.
it's just, we're trying to make sure that we speak to all of our audiences, but all of our audiences have lots of different preferences for
Oh
what they
yeah.
like in content. And that's what's so great about how many shows we do in a season at ALT. There
Yeah.
is something for everybody, but not every show is for every single patron. So to keep
Yeah.
that in mind, we're not out here trying to make you angry.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not promoting any agenda of any sort. No, we just
No,
want to tell stories and provide quality theater.
that's
The
right.
great thing too about ALT that I think is so unique and different about us than maybe other places, we have two people that work in a box office that you can call and say,
Mhm.
"Hey, I'm a little worried about this show. Can you tell me a little bit more?" And we will gladly say, "This is the amount of words that we say. This is spoiler alert. This is what happens in the show." Because one-on-one, we can tell somebody and spoil maybe some content, but we're not going to blast that on our social media saying,
Right.
FYI, if you're worried about this, because people want to be surprised. They want to have that kind of um, discovery when they come see a show. And so you can always email me. You can always call our box office and they can give you a ton more information if you're really worried about, for example, you're like 18 and up for First Date. Should I bring my 16-year-old Academy kid?
Mhm.
I've already told somebody when they came and saw Dalian, I'm like, yes, your kid is fine. They
Yeah.
will totally, they hear all those words at school. They're totally okay. They're a theater
Mhm.
kid. They know that this isn't real life.
Right.
They're going to love the show and think it's hilarious.
Exactly. Exactly. And also Google is great. Quick Google search will give you, we'll give you more specific information because we know our audiences, and typically Joe and Lissa will know your preferences based on what you've seen before.
Yeah. Oh,
If you're an
yeah.
ALT patron, they'll be able to tell you more than anybody else. Yeah, why don't you just skip this one
Skip it.
and come see Dreamgirls.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
okay, so quickly, this is a relatively small cast, only 8 people. We recently had Dial M for Murder on the main stage with just a cast of 5. You've, of course, directed shows with nearly 100 cast members back in your Academy days.
Yeah. In fact,
What?
Aladdin had 100 to exact. Aladdin Jr. was the largest cast in ALT's history at 100.
My gosh.
And I have 100 gray hairs because of that show added to this head.
You wear them proudly, and you should. What is the benefit of directing a musical with such a small and intimate cast?
Oh,
Let me count the ways.
how much time do I have? It is so nice because one, like I can just look around, and go, oh, we're all here. Great. Okay, moving on. I mean, costuming. Oh, okay, I will tell you the benefits from a technical standpoint.
Yeah.
Eight people. Granted, they have a ton of things that they're changing, but only 8 base costumes. Huge. That's why I was like, I can costume this show.
Yeah.
Um, for example, our microphones for the show. I mean, typically we'll have double this, if not more than that, in a big musical. For this show, especially, some of these characters don't. Once they're on stage, they don't leave the stage. Our amazing sound engineer Andrew Hawkins had a great idea, which I love. We're double miking everybody from the get go. So if something happens on one of their mics, he can immediately switch to their other mic that they're already wearing,
Genius.
and we're fine. We can't do that with all of our shows. We do that
Right.
with our leads sometimes. If like Shrek, Hagen Hall had to have two mics because all the prosthetics, there was no way.
Yeah.
Tammy, when she played Always Pets a Client, she had two mics.
Mhm.
So the show from the get go, all of our cast can have two mics, which is unheard of. It's so lovely. I cannot wait for that. And then, I mean, we're able to get a lot done quickly
Mhm.
because I'm able to block and choreograph, and it's less people to teach, more people to, or they have more time, one-on-one time with me, and can absorb that. Now, granted, we had some illnesses earlier this week, so two people were out. That's, I can't do the math, but a little bit more than a fourth of my cast was gone.
Yeah.
And so when we had, me and Nicholas, our production or assistant director, assistant music director, stepped in to help cover and keep the rehearsals going. So that's a little tricky sometimes, when you have somebody out. But it has been so nice. It's just been awesome to be able to just send a text to everyone or remind people about things. Um, and they're so freaking talented. I mean, you'll get to ask the cast the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
On them, it's a little bit more stressful because they're the one alto line or they're the one tenor line or whatever in the ensemble vocals. Like,
Some extra
they
pressure.
have to sing it and sing it right
Right.
because they're the only ones singing. I mean, Jennifer's doing a great job listening, going, I still am missing this, or where's my whatever. And so that's a little bit pressure on them that they have to know their stuff. Like,
Yeah.
they have to deliver it.
Totally.
Um, but it's been fun. We've been doing a lot of playing, which has been a lot of fun.
That's
Um,
such a
uh,
great segue because I was gonna ask you, what has this cast brought to the table in terms of acting, improv, vocal talent? Can you
yeah.
speak to that?
Oh, vocally, are you kidding me? Like, Abigail Martin can
Oh my
sing.
gosh.
I mean, her
I love that
alto and
girl.
I mean, she played soprano for me uh, Into the Woods, her Cinderella, but her alto is just, she has these gorgeous notes. Her comedic timing is genius. Why she's not on SNL right now? She has this dry sense of humor. If you're not already taking her
Her
improv classes,
improv, yes.
I mean, you will learn gold, diamonds, rubies, all of these amazing things from her because, like, last night, she just changed one line. Her very last line of the show, she changed, got a huge laugh. I was
Oh
dying
my
laughing with her.
gosh.
So genius. Caseland Tenario, who not many people, she was in the ensemble of Rent.
Mhm.
Her voice is so strong. We've been talking about all of the comedic elements. There is one or two songs that are a little bit more, have a little more weight to, and she has one of them. She shares one of them, and she's gonna break your heart with this song. Like,
Mm.
just, oh my gosh, so good. She also has one of my favorite costume changes on stage, where she plays somebody completely different that I absolutely love. Genius.
Love it.
Callie Huckabee, which, oh my gosh, vocally powerhouse, her
Yeah.
soprano. I'm excited for audiences to see her in the show because she has a fun kind of main role that is perfect for Callie. It kind of shows two sides of her that is just hilarious. And she's such a clown in the scenes that she has to do with Joseph. She really does a good job setting up the jokes for him in that number. So I'm really excited for that as well. Then of course Cheyenne, who's our female lead playing Casey, and I mean, she's been our Wednesday Addams. She's been in ensembles of shows. She just was in the ensemble of Waitress. So I'm really excited for audiences to see her back in kind of that leading lady role again. Her
Yeah.
voice, I mean, she came in knowing this show. She came in like,
She
I
was
know the
talking about
show.
First Date during Waitress in the
Oh,
fall,
I love it. Yeah,
about
I
how
mean,
it
her
was her favorite
vocals.
musical and all that.
Yeah, her vocals spot on. She knows this character. She has that, like, kind of chip on her shoulder character that works perfectly for this New York um, person who's been on several dates. I love that I can just give her a note and she's like, got it, and just boom, changes it like right
Yeah.
then and there. So as a director, I can really give her direction and know exactly what I want, and she gives it right back
Love
perfectly.
it.
Switching over to our guys, Harrison Stringer, Academy Director Harrison Stringer, who
A man who
literally,
needs
like,
no introduction.
I mean, right, I'm like, he
Like,
has a character already, and then I'll be like, "Try this," and he's like, "Got it," and then immediately takes it to the next level, and I'm like, "Brilliant,"
you're
like,
like, "Which one do I pick? I don't know."
exactly, exactly. He's
Yeah.
so funny. His characters are so different and so diverse as well. Um, there's a thing that he does in the show. All of them have a musical instrument number that they do, but just be prepared for Harrison and his musical instrument kills me every time. And then he like does one more like extra little thing in another song with it, and it's genius, comedic genius. So funny. Jonathan Mobley is mainly the waiter in the show, but then has a couple of other different characters as well. And I'm excited. His number, his solo number, is one of my favorite numbers. I wish I could sing it. Like I wish I was the waiter so many times when I see it because
Oh,
I
awesome.
love his number so much. There's also something I don't want to give away, but he also does something in the show uh, that's really funny that involves
How do
maybe
I say this?
how do I say it without saying it? Just involves a skill that's been done at ALT in the past at the adventure space. I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
But it's really funny. He's doing a great job. Then of course Nels Bjork, his main character is Gabe, the best friend to Aaron. Um, I I I think Nels is having the most fun in this role because it's the closest thing to like not closest thing to Nels, but Nels knows this type of character
Yeah.
and he does it so well. And it's really fun to see him play as well. Him and Harrison play two characters as well. These two ex-boyfriends of Casey's character, and he really runs with that as well, which is really fun. I didn't give anything away, Jonathan. I didn't give
Jonathan
anything
Mobley's
away.
panicking.
He's like, "Don't give it away." I didn't, Jonathan. Uh, the fun thing with Nels too, Nels has been my radar. Like the other day, I've given direction to some of our actors, and then they try the new joke or the new way. And if Nels laughs, I know we did a good job. Nels
Oh,
is just like
okay.
he's
He's
like,
the
he'll
checkpoint.
yeah, he'll giggle at something, and I'm like, I love hearing Nels giggle about some direction I've given with a line or something
Nels
like
is
that.
the
So he's
comedic rubric. Got it.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
There's also a line that he says every night, and it's about when the couple are about to order food. He says a line about to Joseph's character about what he's gonna order. Every single night, it makes me laugh. Every single night, it makes Jennifer Akins laugh. Like, we've heard it every single night, and we still laugh about the way Nell says this line, which is
Oh my
hilarious.
gosh.
And then Joseph Ward plays Aaron. Of course, he's doing a phenomenal job as well. He's been really fun because his character is this quirky, nervous, overachiever type character, and he's had a really good time. He's doing such a great job vocally as well. And so to see him with Cheyenne, they have a great dynamic as well that I think audiences are really going to love. And then, of course, Jennifer Akins doing all of our music,
Yes.
leading our amazing band, has done a phenomenal job. Nicholas Schaefer doing double duty as my assistant director and also assistant music director,
Love that
which is
guy.
great. Sean Pritchard, one of our Academy students, really wanted to be a part of the show, and so he's a production assistant. They're handling like all the ins and outs of props and how the uh, crew, how they're going to be setting up some scenes and stuff like that. And so we have a great team and a great cast, and it's going to be a really fun show. I think people are going to be, especially because they don't know anything about it. I think they're going
Yeah.
to come in really surprised that they're having a really fun time.
That is something, since you mentioned that, I just want to say out loud, don't be afraid of a show title that you don't know.
Right.
Be excited because ALT works really hard with our play selection committee and among the staff to pick shows that we feel like will give our patrons a variety of content throughout the year, things that a lot of people will enjoy seeing. If you don't like this one, you'll love this one.
Right.
If you don't like that one, you'll love that one. And it could a title that you've never heard of before that doesn't have a movie associated with it, or that isn't a super well-known play or a super well-known musical or made into a book or adapted from a book. It could be the one that you're like, oh my gosh, that is the
Yeah.
best thing I've ever seen. You just never ever know. Maybe you won't love it, but maybe you'll have a fun experience, and maybe you're like, "Oh, that wasn't my
I
favorite, but it
mean,
was great to go to the theater."
exactly. Just like a first date, take a chance on our date, on our show, because you never know.
You
That's
never
what the
know.
whole gist of going on a first date is. You have no clue what it's going to be like. This might be the one,
Right.
Or it might be the one that you're like, I'm good being just your friend and we're good.
Yeah.
Take a chance on first date. I'm telling you. One, y'all, are we gonna do a show at ALT that's not worthy of y'all? Come on, come on.
Come on.
I think by now you know you should trust us.
Yeah.
So the show already is gonna look great, sound great, be fantastic. The quality is gonna be fantastic. So give first date a chance.
Yeah.
Take a date with first date. Give us a chance. Swipe right on us. I'm
Swipe right
telling
on
you.
first date, please.
Swipe right on
Please,
first
Raquel, get going
date.
on that graphic. Thank you so much.
Just saying.
Jason, is there anything else you want our audiences to know before they buy tickets? And they will buy tickets to see First Date.
Buy your tickets, get those add-ons. Tell people about the speed dating event, y'all. If you're like, I'm not going to go to that, but you might have a sister that's perfect for it, or maybe your best friend who's struck out left and right, or it's just a really great guy. Have them sign up for the speed dating event.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun event. It's going to be an hour before the show. When else do you get to kind of have the not pressure of a first date because you're with 39 other people also going to see a musical that's hilarious. It's only basically 90-minute show. So spread the word. Help us. We really want this event to sell out.
Yeah.
We really want people to have a great time. And for some reason, if you're like, Jason, I'm so sorry. I have an amazing best friend, but he's gay, and so he wouldn't fall into this. Then you email Jason Crespin.
That's right.
And say, I have the perfect managing artistic director that you should go on a date with.
So the speed dating is reserved for the straights. Is that what we're saying?
Yes, but don't worry, gays. We're gonna take care of you guys later on in the season. Come Pride Month, we'll be taking care of y'all. You guys had Rent. We had, Boys in the Band. We're good.
Yeah,
we're good.
We don't leave you guys out, guys and gals. We don't leave y'all out. So this one, we're gonna let the straights have
also
one.
any eligible gays. Just send your resume.
That's why we're really not doing it, because Jason's like, I don't need any competition. You just email me directly.
Just email me directly with your resume, your credit score, and your favorite Christmas movie, because there's really one answer.
If you say anything other than the one correct answer, it's an immediate no.
Yeah. And your age. Just kidding.
Just kidding. That doesn't matter. He doesn't care.
No, it doesn't matter anymore, sadly. If you're a plastic surgeon or anything, right to the top. A lawyer, doctor, come on down. Come on down, ALT.
Oh my gosh. Okay, straight. So go ahead and get your tickets for the speed dating event. Don't miss out. It's going to be great. You don't even have to be a theater person. This is going to be fun, even if you're like, I'm not really a theater person.
I will say that
it's not one of those shows that's awkward to see.
Exactly. I was gonna say, if you're like, musicals aren't my thing, this is the musical for you, because I'm telling you, it's so funny that it's not like, oh, the person next to you is gonna be singing the same song as the people on stage. They're not.
Right.
It's a musical for everyone, because it's just so funny and just so down to earth.
Right. And you'll do the speed dating event, just 5 minutes per person. So you'll have 10 options to do that. And then you'll go right into the show, and there's no intermission. So you don't have to worry about like an awkward 15-minute, what do I do? What do I say at intermission? Like, just sit and watch the show. And then maybe you met someone that you liked, and maybe I'll email you the following week with your matches, and maybe not, but you'll have a great time either way.
Yeah, it'll be a great time. It's gonna be great.
It'll be a great time. Okay, guys, that is it for Thursdays at 3 today. Thank you so much, Jason Crespin, for joining me today.
I appreciate y'all.
I love you so much. Even though we work in the same building, we don't get to chat all that much because we're so busy doing our own thing. So selfishly, I am always so glad when I get to steal him away for Thursdays at 3. Get your tickets to see First Date, and if you're single and looking, sign up for the speed dating event like we were talking about, the love of your life, or the friend of your life could be just 5 minutes away. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. You guys have a great weekend. Okay.
Talk to you soon. Yay, come see First Date. Bye.